Hello everyone, this is Benjamin Ramirez. This was kind of a setup that was with me and someone online. I'm asking somebody what to do. The person ended up going here, and this is when I asked about it. My idea was going back to moving my bishop back to B6 file. That's what I did in the game. I moved back one. The reason I moved back one is if he captures, I recapture with my A pawn, and I have a free. Basically, if I go back one and he captures and I recapture, I have an open file with my rook. Well, semi-open file where I can move up and possibly move over to threaten the king side. That's what I did in the game. I did ask what people thought because I was just curious on it. I considered going like this. I didn't like it too much because, I mean, I can get my bishop an escape route, but if he simply just captures and I capture, I just move my pawn up for pretty much no reason, really, that I can see. So what ended up happening was after he moved there, a friend of mine considered the idea of moving the queen all the way over to the H4 square, which obviously captured by the knight. So that's when I started thinking, what if you kick the knight? What if you do something to push the knight away? And the only way that would be possible is moving my pawn up to G5. Now, if I move my pawn to G5, I can possibly threaten to push the knight out and then move my queen forward for more an aggressive attack. Now, the pawn's obviously protected by the queen, so you can't capture it. If I move it up one, it's protected by the bishop on C8. So I started thinking maybe it'd be worth to even look at, even though I didn't play in the game, as something to look at. So what now? What can white do? So I'm basically attacking white. I'm pushing forward a pawn. The idea will be to push all those three pawns, the F, G, and H pawn up at some point to attack, and castle on the queen side. So let's see how something like this may or may not continue. So let's say I move my pawn up and he decides that he wants to capture my bishop. So he captures, I recapture. Now, if I'm able to move my pawn up now, the knight will only have the G1 square. If he castles, then the knight will only have the E1 square. So I would not 100% sure how he would defend against it or try defending against it if he cares. But if he doesn't castle, then a lot of people like castling early, so that's what I assumed that he would do. But if he didn't castle and I pushed the pawn up, moving it back, he would have to bring his pieces out. So I want to see what it would look like if he castled on the king side. So I would continue that way because I wanted to really check out how effective an attack like this may or may not be. So if he castles and I move up, the knight has nowhere to go but back. And then here's a question of how would I continue? If I continue by moving my F pawn, I can move my F pawn 2 spaces forward. I can do this, or I can do this to fortify my pawns to try to make an attack. Since my pawn is actually safe right now and not under attack, I can easily move my queen or my bishop. Now the idea at some point will be move the queen here, but I have nothing really to go off of, so I think that'd be a premature queen move. Move my bishop here will be the only safe square. If I move my bishop on this square, he can capture and I can recapture, but then that's one less attacker for me on the king side. So I actually like the bishop and I want to keep him just for that. So if I wanted to continue to attack and protect my king, I would most likely move my bishop up one. The queen, I'm unsure of where I want to place it yet. I'm assuming in front of the king, but that's kind of what I would go for. Now for white, obviously if I'm attacking on that side, I'm not sure what they intend to do. If they might want to move up and maybe develop a piece and have another defender, which I think would be the most logical choice for them. So let's say they move up to develop a piece and have another piece for defending. Later moving the bishop to, let's say, e3 or something. And that's something that I would think white would most likely do in that situation. If I continue my development for the purposes of an attack, and he continued to develop for the purposes of, defending. Now in this situation, something like this, I don't know if I don't think it'd be a good idea to defend the pawn right away. I don't think that would be good, because then he simply can just go down and block my castle. And on top of that, my pawn's already defended by the queen. So if he were to develop his piece and move like basically normally, I would simply just castle first. That way, if I decide to move my pawn up, I'll be fine. I can move my king around, and my bishop can still be used. So I will most likely castle in that situation. I'm not sure how white will continue from something like this. I mean, they can't simply go like this. I mean, this is a threat right here, but they can't do it right away because I can just capture it. Doing something like this to prepare means they'll just lose a pawn. So they can't like prepare something immediately to put his bishop here, but it's something to look out for. I always look out for those attacks that can basically, I don't know what kind of attack that's called tactic wise, but a bishop raining down on a queen, and if you move, take your rook, is kind of something to pay attention to. So if I were to castle, the knight looks like he's in bad shape. He has nowhere he actually can go that's safe. It looks like it'll be a risky situation, and I believe that white would have to continue by moving his pawns and attacking on the queen side. So it'll look like a race of time. Basically, whoever gets to attack who's king first is what it looks like. It's actually pretty decent. Actually a pretty decent way of doing things. Now, there's the Stockfish app thing, so I want to see what they analyze it as, this position here. So it's slightly, and I think it's slightly in white's favor. Yeah, they rated it slightly in white's favor, which is, kind of understandable since the pawn's kind of out there without much going on. But it's actually a pretty interesting concept, actually, and they would end up seeing goes first. Now, if I stop the analyzation and go back to the beginning, what I ended up doing here is going back. And then if he captures, I recapture. And then I'm not sure what he's going to do, but let's say if he castles right away. I don't have much of attack on the king side, and I can't castle on queen side because the rook. The whole point of me doing that is so my rook has somewhere to move. My a8 rook. So right now it looks like I put myself in a situation where I will be left. I'm not sure exactly what I'm doing, but I can be left. I mean, it's not really much of an attack you can do, but it looks like a very simple, basic game where you just develop pieces and try to attack and defend things. So I like the other idea much better than what I did. So I definitely do like the idea of doing that as an attack. So I just wanted to make this into a video and share it with him so he can see behind the concept of it and what can happen. But it's actually a good idea. I mean, if you like risky games and stuff that involves attacking the king with pawns, then this would make it a game where you both are rushing for the king and trying to take him out with your pawns and pieces. And be attacked on both different sides. So, alright, I hope you enjoyed the little, idea strategic thing, but most people don't know what to do for the middle game. This is kind of getting close to the middle game beginning, so doing something like this, or simply, what I did here, and then that, I mean, it's getting kind of into the middle game, so it just really depends on how you want to play. I was just thinking about a small advantage of my rook and possibly getting him out there, castling, and attacking the king side that way, which were both castles, so I can't move my pawns. So, alright, I hope you enjoyed this video, and let me see how they analyze this one. It's a little different. Last one was like 0.8 after a certain amount of moves. This time it's getting closer to 0.1, 0.2, or 0.3. Alright, 0.34. Alright, so it looks like what I did is considered a little better, but not by much. I guess it just depends on what you're more comfortable with. So if you like attacking more, then the other one might be pretty good for you, especially if you're really good with tactics. Tactics are very important if you're really good with that. This is more of a positional thing, and apparently they like mine a little bit better, but I like the other way too because of the tagging. So hope you enjoyed this video, and if you haven't subscribed, you can always subscribe. My videos do get taken down once in a while. Apparently there's different rules and stuff, maybe background music or something else that I was unaware of. So I'll keep trying to make videos, and if they get taken down, then they get taken down, but I hope this one stays. So just enjoy and subscribe, and I'll keep trying. And if you have any suggestions of openings or anything else that you want me to try in a game, I'll be glad to go over it. All right. Have a good day.